Nobody knew why Lady Gaga canceled her headlining performance that night. No tweet explained it. No PR team gave a reason. The fans waited. Lights dimmed. The stage remained silent. But by then, she was already gone. Not backstage. Not in a dressing room. She was sitting quietly in the back of a car, wearing a loose hoodie, her hair pulled back into a messy bun, eyes hidden behind oversized glasses. No glam, no glitter, no makeup. Just the woman beneath the icon. Stephanie. Her team hadn't asked questions when she told them to reroute the car. Over the years, they'd learned, when Gaga went quiet, something inside her was shifting. The car didn't drive toward the venue. It went to a children's hospital on the outskirts of town. She didn't want an escort. She didn't want flowers. She didn't even want the hospital to know she was coming. Just one room. One child. One letter she couldn't forget. Room 509. A girl named Lily had written to her 2 months ago. The letter hadn't been a fan tribute, or a request for a video, or a desperate plea for inspiration. It was a question. Cold, honest, unfiltered. You told me to be brave, but why do you look so scared now? She hadn't stopped thinking about it since. The hallway smelled like disinfectant and silence. Nurses passed quietly, some recognizing her, none approaching. A head nod here, a glance, but no words. Room 509 was dimly lit, the shades drawn. Inside, a small girl lay curled in a bed too big for her fragile frame. A scarf covered her bald head. Her eyes were closed, but they opened before Gaga even said a word. "I thought you wouldn't come," Lily said flatly. Gaga stood there, hands in her sleeves like a child in trouble. "I didn't want to come as her," she replied softly. "I just wanted to come as me." Lily sat up slightly, staring at her through unblinking, sunken eyes. "You don't look like her." "I know." "You don't sound like her either." "I know." "Good." That reply surprised her. Lily pointed to a wrinkled poster on the wall. It was from the Born This Way tour, torn slightly at the edges, faded from years of sunlight. "That's the one who told me monsters don't win. The one who said to fight, to scream, to dance, even if I had no feet." Gaga nodded slowly. Lily tilted her head. "Do you still believe that?" Stephanie hesitated, then shook her head. "Not every day." "Good," Lily said again. "Because I don't either." She didn't say it with anger. There was no resentment, just fatigue. Like someone too young to carry so much disappointment, but too old to pretend it wasn't there. "I used to play your songs when I got chemo," Lily continued. "I imagined you in here, singing, dancing, making jokes, like nothing could touch you." She smiled faintly, but it didn't reach her eyes. "But then you disappeared." "I didn't mean to," Gaga whispered. "You stopped performing, stopped posting, stopped fighting. And suddenly I wasn't sure if any of it was ever real." A silence dropped between them. Stephanie walked to the chair beside the bed and sat. "It was real. But it also hurt." Lily's eyes narrowed. "What hurts someone like you?" Gaga didn't answer right away. Then, "Everything I pretend doesn't." Lily blinked. "That's a weird answer." "It's a weird life," Stephanie said. Lily reached under her blanket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. She handed it over without a word. Gaga unfolded it. The text was typed, neatly, deliberately. If being brave means pretending you're not scared, I don't want to be brave. If being strong means smiling when it hurts, I don't want to be strong. If surviving means becoming someone else, then maybe I don't want to survive. Stephanie stared at the paper. I wrote that on a Tuesday, Lily said. The same day the nurse played your video. The one where you were crying during rehearsal and then wiped your face and walked on stage like it meant nothing. She looked away. That was the first time I realized. Maybe you weren't winning either. Stephanie felt her chest cave in, slowly and silently. I'm not here to save you, she said. I didn't ask you to. I'm not even sure I can save myself. Lily looked back. Maybe you're not supposed to. The clock ticked. Machines beeped. Outside, the world moved on. Inside, two people sat in a truth too heavy for words. You know what they told me? Lily asked. That you were my hero. I used to want to be, Stephanie replied. You're not. I know. You're something better. That startled her. Better? You're still here. She reached out, hand trembling, and touched Gaga's sleeve. You showed up. That's more than most people do. They didn't speak for a long time after that, just held the silence. Eventually, Lily fell asleep, and Stephanie stayed. She stayed through the night, through the nurse checking vitals, through the dimming of the hallway lights, through her own discomfort and self-doubt and shame. She stayed. The next morning, she left the hospital before sunrise. No makeup, no entourage, no sound. She canceled the rest of her tour that afternoon. No statement was released, no headlines explained. But a month later, nurses across the country began to whisper. She came here, just sat with them. No songs, no cameras. Just Stephanie. And in room 509, the old poster still hangs. Not because of the woman in leather and lace, but because of the one in silence and sleeves. The one who didn't come to inspire. She came to stay.